Here's a psychology fact you're not ready for. People don't ghost you because they suddenly stopped caring. They ghost you because facing you makes them confront something they're not emotionally ready for. Most people think ghosting is just immaturity, but psychologists call this avoidant coping. And once you understand it, you'll see why certain people disappear the moment things get real, get emotional, or get uncomfortable. But here's where it gets even worse. Psychology says ghosting has nothing to do with you being unworthy. It's about them. People ghost to avoid guilt, avoid conflict, or avoid responsibility. And here's the painful truth. Ghosting is easier than admitting the truth, because disappearing lets them feel like they don't have to explain themselves. But here's the part nobody wants to admit. This happens because your brain hates emotional discomfort, and some people were never taught how to handle it. When you confront emotions, like commitment, honesty, or vulnerability, your brain goes into self-protection mode. For avoidant people, this protection turns into disappearing. Your mind thinks ghosting is the easiest exit. But the reality is, they're not protecting you. They're protecting themselves from shame, from conflict, from accountability, and from the fear of hurting someone directly. Some ghost because they fear confrontation. Some ghost because they don't know how to communicate. Some ghost because they're overwhelmed by intimacy. And some ghost because they've learned that disappearing is a familiar pattern, something they experienced in childhood or past trauma. Ghosting is a coping mechanism, a silent escape, a way to control the situation without having to deal with emotions. And here's the deeper part. People who ghost often struggle with emotional regulation, avoidant attachment, fear of disappointing others, or fear of being the bad guy. So instead of talking, they vanish, not because you weren't enough, but because conflict felt too heavy for their emotional skill level. If that hit you, it means you've been blaming yourself for someone else's avoidance. If you want to break the cycle of letting ghosting destroy your self-worth, start with this. Stop personalizing other people's emotional immaturity. When someone ghosts you, it tells you more about their emotional limits than your value. Here's the mental trick that actually works. When someone disappears, don't chase clarity from them. Find clarity in what their silence reveals. Most people will ignore this and keep thinking ghosting means they weren't good enough. But it doesn't. It means that person wasn't ready for the kind of connection you were offering. Don't be most people.